True love rebukes and corrects. It follows established kingdom protocols. It seeks righteousness over brand protection. It accepts restoration. After, true repentance is demonstrated. James warns those that step up in leadership. To lead, leaders need to teach, and with that there is consequences for stepping into the position. James says, "Let not many of you become teachers, my brethren, knowing that as such we will incur a stricter judgment." The protocols of love, rebuke, and correction are simple. Matthew records what Jesus said. "If your brother sins, go and show him his fault in private. If he listens to you, you have won your brother. But if he does not listen to you, take one or two more with you, so that by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every fact may be confirmed. If he refuses to listen to them, tell it to the church. And if he refuses to listen even to the church, let him be to you as a Gentile and a tax collector. Truly, I say to you, whatever you bind on earth shall have been bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall have been loosed in heaven. Again, I say to you, that if 2 of you agree on earth about anything that they may ask, it shall be done for them by my Father who is in heaven. For where 2 or 3 have gathered together in my name, I am there in their midst." Step 1, brother, implies relationship and intimacy. Privately and ownership, meaning cleaning one's own heart first, then going to the other for the correction. Step 2, witnesses that have also cleaned their own hearts, but also in a place of quiet accountability. Step 3, public to the whole gathering community they belong to. Step 4, closing them off from any association or gathering with the elect. A public demonstration and declaration. The proof, 2 or more in agreement, of the correction steps and elevation of consequences. Jesus' presence will be evident to them, and the consequences will come forth from God. But what if true repentance is exhibited? Paul addresses that to the Corinthians, using the example of someone Paul himself said to excommunicate from the fellowship. But because the repentance was proven to exhibit true, to accept them back, lest the congregation become themselves ensnared by the enemy and become partially obedient, rebellious and operating in witchcraft, to God's commandments how to love. Paul said to the Corinthians, "So that on the contrary you should rather forgive and comfort him. Otherwise, such a one might be overwhelmed by excessive sorrow. Wherefore I urge you to reaffirm your love for him. For to this end also I wrote, so that I might put you to the test, whether you are obedient in all things." True love rebukes, corrects, follows the kingdom protocols, and at its heart seeks people being reconciled to the kingdom. Leaders that seek to protect brand and brands that they constructed over operating in the full obedience of love are no longer shepherds of God's sheep, but rather wolves in sheep clothing. They are using partial obedience to justify their own disobedience, rather than ownership of the sin in them and among them. They point fingers to circumstances and environments. The same thing Eve said. It was the snake. Mercy, grace, and repentance are indeed available from God. Do not mistake God's mercy and grace to mean that there will not be consequences. For those that have stepped up to any form of leadership and through their own partial obedience have let wolves enter and devour the sheep, and in doing so, they themselves have become wolves with sheep clothing. May the fear of the Lord fill his church.